Now, remember those old woolen blankets that your grandparents once had? The ones with bright colours and bold stripes?
Well, one of those itchy old rolls of Kiwiana are making a comeback. Lucas de Jong went to meet the women keeping Kiwi blankets alive.
For generations, they've been there, over chairs and on beds. Their bright woolly warmth, a part of Kiwi culture.
Yeah, these are old blankets from Mum and Dad's beach house. Might have to fill up a few holes.
Oh, that's okay. Patches are my speciality.
And Kathleen wants them all.
There's a couple of hundred here. I like to kind of test myself. I won't look at the label and I'll go, oh, I think that's Australian, and then I'll open it up and I'm like, yes.
Did you ever think that you might be the blanket lady?
The crazy blanket lady? No, the blanket lady. No, I did not. It definitely was something that has evolved. I'm a wool magpie. It just captured my heart, really.
8 years ago, it was nostalgia that sparked an idea.
I was doing some selling at markets and things, and I happened to put a couple of wool blankets out on my stand. It just really resonated with people what I was doing. They wanted to talk about blankets, they wanted to share their stories, and they wanted to know how they could get some.
Now her company, Fresh Retro Love, searches New Zealand for the blankets that once kept our country toasty.
This blanket would be around 100 years old.
100 years? Get out. Hold on, I need to give it a
okay.
feel. I mean, as a New Zealand product, there's not many better commercials for it than that, is it?
No,
That's
no.
100 years old.
No, it will...
And still doing the job.
It will outlast us.
Sadly, they just don't make them like they used to.
There was pretty much a wool scourer in every town in New Zealand, you know, in the 1950s, 1960s, because wool had actually some value to it.
These weren't cheap. These, you know, this might have been a week or 2 weeks' wages for someone to buy a blanket like that. When they were being made, that was all that was available, so they were appreciated for their functionality. I mean, they kept you warm. There weren't any other options. Imported products started to become much more readily available and also more inexpensive.
And so they were sent to the spare bed, or the dog box. Basically, anywhere dark.
I mean, look at these colours.
I know.
Is it fair to say there's sort of
Here's another one.
the ugliness of them? Is this all part of it?
Uglier the better. In fact, you know, some of them, you know, when I'm writing them up for the website, I just feel like saying, you know, 1970s, what were you thinking? It's what makes New Zealand wool blankets so different, because they literally are different from any other blankets around the world.
Now, though, people are seeing the value of wool again.
I've never stroked so many things on a story before.
Vintage blankets are flying off Kathleen's many shelves, and people are asking her to refresh their family heirlooms.
Can you get the itchy out?
If you say the I word one more time.
Okay.
I'm just kidding. No, yes.
Yeah.
We brush them, we make them beautiful.
Yeah.
We make your blankets beautiful.
But her second-hand market had a finite life, so she decided to do something that hadn't been done in years. She started making them like they used to.
Thought she was a bit crazy.
Nice and bright and purples and that real sort of splash of gold.
Kathleen wanted colour, and she wanted stripes, and she wanted checks, and she wanted, you know, crazy stuff compared to what our other customers are purchasing.
Now she has her own range, fresh, retro-inspired and loved. Woolen blankets for the next generation of Kiwis.
Can you imagine people in 100 years stroking your blanket?
Yeah, pets are free.